How good does that look? Woo! I'm awesome. DJ Barbecue is back with Scotland's finest butchers, Donald Russell, and those good people up in Scotland have sent us this beauty.
Come on, move it over.
The Tomahawk, right between the 5 and the 9 bones. It's the best steak, and it looks even sexier because it's got its own handle. This thing's been dry aged for 36 days from select farms by the Donald Russell select team of butchers. If Zeus were a steak, this is said steak. When they approached me, they said, Christian, which steak do you want? What cut of meat do you want? You know, is it pork? Is it lamb? Do you want beef? Veal? What do you want? I'm like, well, I've never done tomahawk on my YouTube channel, so can I please have a tomahawk? Why do I like the ribeye? Well, it's because of the fat. It's got all that lovely marbling, grass-fed, and then this bad boy, we want all that to render because that fat is flavor, man. Grass-fed. This is gonna be beautiful. And they've also sent me their guide to how to cook and select meat, man. This thing is perfect. It's got all the cuts, searing times, temperatures, internal temperatures. It goes through everything, but I'm gonna use what's in here and then give you guys some extra hints and tips on how to perfectly cook this beautiful steak. And we're also gonna add some sides in here, some smoked potatoes with cream cheese and some coriander, and then we're gonna do Hispi Cabbage with an umami bomb. We're talking rendered beef fat and some anchovies and garlic. It's gonna be the complete perfect meal. You guys ready for this? So you can see all this fat. Look at this stuff. Just lightly score the fat. This way, you're gonna give it a bit of a head start so it breaks down. And when it breaks down, it's gonna render. And then it's just gonna work its way around the meat. Remember, fat is flavor, and we're just giving that fat a bit of a head start. You don't wanna cook ribeye rare because it won't give that fat a chance to render. So salt only on your steak. And why not pepper? Well, pepper can burn. If you put cracked pepper on that steak onto a hot grill, it can burn and go acrid. So we're gonna pepper it right near the end. We want that pepper in there because it's beautiful flavor. Salt and pepper, that's all you need to do with a steak. All right, so the steak has been seasoned. Now your grill. The best setup for your steak, any steak, is half and half. Charcoal on one side, no charcoal on the other. That way you put your steak directly over the heat to create that crust, that beautiful bark, and then you move it over to the indirect side, and that way the middle bit gets the energy to bring it up to temperature. That way it's not like, you know, cooked on the outside and raw in the middle. You want those fats to render in that middle bit to get cooked so you're at medium rare. Now you want to keep this thing moving. Everybody says, don't move the steak. No, I move them. So we're gonna give it another flip. You can see the fat dancing. Now, a lot of people forget about the perimeter, like that big fat bit on the outside. They just do, you know, the two sides, but it's not two-sided. There's a lot going on. This is a 3D steak, man. Here's a nice tip for you. If you get the flare-ups, move the steak right away to the indirect side. Because when those fats render, they'll hit the coals and the coals will flare up. You don't want to burn your steak, you just want to cook your steak. So you can always move it over to the indirect side. My favorite thing with steak is a baked potato. We're gonna do them on the grill. So you get a bowl, your spuds, Hank the olive oil pourer. Go Hank, go. And then hit it with some salt. Let the bowl do its thing. And there's your potatoes. Now we did some of these a lot earlier, so they were ready for when the steak is ready. Now we need some greens to go along with the spuds and the steak. So we got some Hispi Cabbage. These have been blanched for about 5 minutes. And now I'm just gonna season them with some olive oil. The seasoning for the Hispi Cabbage is a Cajun rub, salt, pepper, onion granules, garlic granules, paprika. So I'm gonna get these guys straight over the coals. You wanna keep checking your steak. It'll get away from you, so keep checking it. Thickest part of the steak right in the middle. And now we're 10 degrees hotter than we were when we last checked. Now this side of the steak is pretty much done, but the meat closest to the bone, that needs a bit more time. So we're gonna keep that facing the heat and this as far away from heat as possible. And then we're gonna give our Hispi cabbage a flip. Oh, that's what I wanna see. Our Hispi cabbage is ready for the chop. So Donald Russell got us some beef fat, which we rendered down, and that's gonna be our fat for the Hispi cabbage. But they're not going in there by themselves. They're going in there with the umami bomb that is anchovies and garlic. So we have got the best anchovies in the history of the planet. These guys go in. And then we smoked some garlic earlier. Just gonna ooze these guys into the pan. Oh. And then in they go, into the frying pan. We are on the home stretch. Let's see where the steak is. 47, 48. It is time to get this bad boy off. The steak is at 49 degrees. It'll still keep going in temperature, so let's rest it, because it'll still keep cooking. And now is when we add the pepper. Don't cut into your steak yet. You want to let that thing rest for at least 5 minutes, and our Hispi cabbage will be all ready. We're there, man. The cabbage is done, the steak's done. Let's just cut open that potato. I do the lightning bolt cut. A buddy of mine in a restaurant in Ocean City, Maryland, showed me this technique. You pop it open, grab some cream cheese. We're gonna go indulgent, why not? Coriander, umami bombed Hispi cabbage. And now for the main event. Thank you, Donald Russell, for delivering me this beautiful select cut of 36-day dry aged ribeye beef. Oh my gosh, if you want to order one of these juicy steaks or any other cuts of meat, check out the information below and hit the Donald Russell website and get yourselves this bad boy. It'll explain everything and help you on your journey to cook meat. Perfect. I'm going in, guys. I'm going in for that bit right there. Oh, man, that is good.